Hi, friends. Welcome to Take Three Talks. I'm Steffi, and I'm going to be your host. Oh my gosh, I'm like a little bit nervous, you guys. I feel like I haven't done this in so long because I had recorded the podcast with Blot in like October, I think. And then I had also recorded a podcast with Cons, with Vale from Cons. Um, So I just feel like I haven't done like a live raw episode by myself. And it's like literally Sunday and this is going out tomorrow. So I've been clearly procrastinating it and like I was really nervous about it. And yeah, so I really hope that you guys like don't get a lot of echo. I'm recording in our office and yeah, it makes me really think that we really need some like art on the walls or stuff, um or like something in this area. I digress. Oh, welcome to Take Three Talks. Today we're gonna have a vulnerable chat, go on a bit of off tangents. I'll tell you a little bit of a few of the things that I've been learning in the past couple of months and some of the things that I just want to share with you. I feel like this is a very safe space for me, and to be honest, like, I don't know about you, but I've been struggling a bit in this past few weeks. Just feeling like I kind of got on the hamster wheel without noticing. And I am a little bit close to burnout if I don't like take the signs, you know? So I think that's one really big thing that I've learned in the past couple of months is that like noticing we can all notice our own cues, or at least I'm very like sensitive and kind of like inward, I guess, in terms that I can see a lot of really I can see a lot of patterns kind of in myself and in my mental health and my physical health and connect them with my mind and my emotional state. And I know that there are a few like things that I start giving up on, which is, for example, like cooking, which I've given up on for like 2 years, and it's something really hard that I'm still trying to like get back on. And I give up on like just basic organization in terms of the closet and clothes. I feel like clothes just are like my detonator, and like I've never had a good relationship with clothes, and that's really like I feel like something that is the first thing that I drop as a priority when I'm like reaching like parts of my life where I'm like, okay, I don't have space for anything else. Let me drop whatever is like the least important. And like my closet organization is something that I just like drop as fast as possible. And I've gotten better, but I think this is more than just like having a messy closet. I think this is more like it's a space where you want to feel invited and accepted, and like I don't know, I guess you want to feel like in peace. You want to feel like creative when looking at your outfits and your clothes, and like you want to feel like I don't know. So I just feel like I think I'm like really digressing here. But I feel like this is really important because I think this is like an aha moment that I've never like really put one and one together, which is like the clothes, the disorganization, and like how that's never been like a safe space for me. Like it's been a safe space for me to like go hide and cry, but that's more like the bathroom. But yeah, so I just feel like there's a few very big red red flags that I notice in myself once I'm starting to reach burnout, and I think I'm like starting to get there, and I think I need to really take a look at what are some of the things that I can drop, not just like I can drop in terms of like right now, but maybe that I can drop in the long term, mid to long term, that I know will make my life better in the future. So yeah, I think that's really what I've learned this past couple of months, like in like a brief thing, is like it doesn't matter like how much pressure you try to put yourself in doing everything today, because it'll always have like a long-term impact. And like you don't have to do everything today, because you're making steps not just for like a present like quick relief. You're doing things for like the future. You're doing things for like to really change your life, and like not just like right now, but in the next couple of years. Like now, like after 6 years of therapy, I'm like, or 5 years of therapy, can't remember. I'm finally starting to see like really big, just like really big steps, and I'm seeing really big learnings. And I don't think that, in the moment when I was kind of going through it, I wasn't necessarily being like kind to myself in terms of like, oh, like this is like kind of like an always learning process. It's not like, you're going to change in like a day. And I think when I was just starting, I was always thinking that I could just change everything in a day. So yeah, this past couple of months I've been learning to make space, to make room, and to unlearn and relearn and pick what you want to keep in your library, right? Of thoughts, of traumas, of happy thoughts, of scary thoughts. Like learn what are those things that are bothering and just like mind boggling you, and what are those things that you really can drop because they no longer serve you. And they no longer serve your purpose, and they no longer serve your path. Maybe they served, before, but it won't serve you like now. And you compassionately and with love and gratitude, you can say, you know what? Like, thank you so much for being here with me this past couple of years, months, days, but I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready to make space for new things. I'm ready to make space for more things. And you no longer serve me. And I did this meditation. Let me drink some water. So I did this meditation on Spotify. It's like a Spanish meditation. Let me see. It's called, let's see. It says the account is Meditación Guiada by Rosario Vicencio. The girl on Instagram that recommended it, her account is espejos.se, and Naya, I believe. And she kind of like recommended it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try, because I'm trying to reconnect more to my Spanish language in terms of like, kind of healing my trauma. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I really quite like some of them. I think some of them, she's maybe a little bit, I don't agree with everything that she says, but you don't have to agree with everything that someone says to get some of the learnings from them. So yeah, I always say that I'll leave the links in the show notes. And sometimes I feel like I don't, but in this episode, I'll dump all the links, I promise. So in the show notes on teehee.com, you'll be able to see all the links to all the stuff that I recommend you listen to. And I'll just do like a dump. It won't be pretty. It'll just be like a dump, okay? That'll be cool. Okay, great. So now that I've kind of told you that this past few months have been about letting go, making space, making room, understanding what like has been serving my purpose and what hasn't, and what I'm ready to let go of, I'm ready to get into some of the touch points of the highlights of the past couple of months. And number one is habits versus listening to your body. So I'm doing this process with my acupuncturist. He's amazing, and I've never had a connection with a doctor like this, and I feel like I'm healing so much than just my physical body. I'm healing my soul, and I don't know, it's just incredible. Pero he and I were talking, and I told him that I'm like, I don't understand, like I drink so much water, like I drink so much water, and I just like feel like sometimes I like choke, it's like sometimes like I'm like drinking the water, and then it's like my throat just closes and I just like spit it out. It's just so weird, right? And he was like, okay, so your body's saying something. Like, do you drink water because of thirst, or do you drink it because of habit? And me dice, o sea, lo tomas por hábito o sed? And I was like, what? I was like, okay, let me think about this. And I was like, what does thirst even look like? Like, like, I'm like, wait, I don't even remember being like thirsty, And he's like, okay, so I would really like you to like start connecting more with your body and really listening to what is it that your body needs instead of just doing things out of habit, because you've been doing this for so long. Like, I used to drink so much cold water. Like, people who listen to this, and maybe none of you listen to this that used to work with me, like, I was like the water queen. Like, I was like, guys, let's go get water. Guys, let's go get water. I'm like literally obsessed with my coworkers. I miss them so much. But yeah, so he was like, I really want you to start listening to your body more rather than just drinking out of habit. And you guys have no idea how much my water consumption has actually lowered, and not into an amount that's like not recommended, whatever, because they shouldn't make blanket recommendations to everybody. Everybody's body's ecosystem is different and needs different things. But I guess I'll do a whole episode on, I don't know, my thoughts on the body. But so I've been drinking hot water, like only hot water. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I have a heat water machine thingy and like a hot water pot. And I love it. I'm obsessed with her, and she makes me hot water all the time. And I'm always drinking hot water. Meijun sells on the hot water boat. And I swear, Meijun's mom had always told us to drink hot water instead of cold water, and I was always like, no, I'm a cold water girl, like, I even drank cold brew in the winter in New York. But yeah, so habits are still listening to your body. So really listen to what is it that you're doing, and like make like así como, like, just like how you do checklists for everything that you want to do. How about you do a checklist of like, hey, how's my body feeling? Like, how's like, what do I need today? Like, what do I need less of today? Like, do I need more like water? Do I need more maybe some extra time in meditation? Maybe I need to lower a task that I had in my to-do list. Maybe I can add a task to my to-do list because I have more energy, or I wake up early. So I don't know, just I think let's listen to our body more than just picking out habits, because I feel like sometimes we just do things without thinking. Like, I did this meditation and the lady was like, imagine a happy moment this week. And I cannot tell you guys a happy moment this week. And not because I haven't been happy, but I think because like, even though Major and I live our lives very, I think, slowly compared to everybody else, I still feel like right now I'm like running and I'm rushing. And I just don't like that. So I have learned to like listen to my body more than just do habits. But I gotta admit that when it comes down to food, like liquids, I think I got down, but food, like something's just changed about my palate lately, and I'm like having a really hard time eating stuff that I really like. So, except when I go to Maria La Panaderia, that shit's always delicious, man. Okay, punto número 2. Guys, Queer Eye is amazing. Like, wow. Like, I just like can't even like comprehend how to explain to you. Like, I started with like the latest season 6, because I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I've given it a chance before in season 1, and like I wasn't really hooked and la la la. So then I watched it in season 6, and I was shooketh to the motherfucking core. Like, I am obsessed. They have made me think about my mental health, my physical health, like not in like a toxic, disgusting diet culture shit. It's just been this beautiful freedom. And I feel like every time they talk to people in Queer Eye, they're also talking to me. And like, it's such a relatable, like, I don't know. I found such a relatable exit through these episodes, and just like seeing non-perfect people on my screen. And I know maybe this is what I like about it. It's like everyone you see there, it's like we're all a little bit broken, right? And we all have like some dark horses, and some of us have some light horses, and some of us have some brown horses and some yellow horses, and just like it shows so many different types of people and so many different types of struggles and so many different types of like happiness and success definitions. And like there was this episode of this lady that had like a farm haven thing where she like just like accepted all these like senior and like disabled differently abled animals. And yeah, like there's just so many episodes. Like, can you guys just go watch it? Like watch season 6 if you want, and then do it like me where I was like, okay, I'm hooked, and then I started watching backwards. I'm at season 2 now, and it's kind of shitty. Like it's not shitty, okay, it's just they don't have as much budget. So they can't do as many cool things, but they still do amazing like emotional work, you know. But what I really like is that they have really cool fucking budget, and they also do really cool fucking things. And you know, while I'm in the Queer Eye kind of section, I wanted to share some of the things that I've heard on Queer Eye, which kind of inspired this episode really. The one is broken crayons can still color. And that's what I called this episode, because it was this guy who shared, I can't remember exactly his details of his episode, but he was saying how, you know, I may be broken, but I know I can still color, you know, and, you know, I know I can still walk. I know I can still like breathe. I know I can still laugh and dance. I know I can still pick up a pen and draw something. I know I can still feel freedom and writing and reading. And I don't know, like, I feel like sometimes we forget what coloring means to us, and we feel like coloring is like this like sudden like weird definition of success that society and like capitalism and like honestly the patriarchy has like put on us, and just like marketing and like I don't know, just everything. And we've forgotten to define our own versions of color, and because we feel like we're broken crayons, we've like, oh, so we can just do this one thing. So because we have like mental health, or we have different types of jobs, or whatever it is, like whatever you think categorizes you as a broken crayon, or maybe as like a non as sharp crayon, you don't have to be broken, okay? The idea is that we can all color, no matter like how old, how used, how broken, how, you know, doesn't matter. Like, remember when we were little, like it was the best thing. Like I loved breaking those fucking crayons and having 2 of them. Like I don't know who lies to themselves and says they didn't like breaking those crayons and like playing with that paper and like just like being like you know, like you just like did something really bad. I don't know, I loved it. I love being a little mischievous. Is that how you say it? I wish Miriam was here. So the other thing that I heard in an episode of Queer Eye, which was really powerful to me, was and I just want to put a trigger warning here for suicidal ideation. It's easy to exist, it's hard to live. So this guy shared that. He was like, yeah, you know, sometimes it's just easier to exist, and it's just harder to live. So he just kept repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. So he was just existing. And it was so powerful when he said that. And I related so much to that, especially when you're in the middle of a depressive episode, or you feel really anxious, or you're just not fully like in balance, I guess, which is not all the time for me. But, you know, it's still sometimes, even if it's just for 10 minutes, you know, like it doesn't have to be full days. I don't know what people think, you know, whatever. Sometimes I think it really is hard to hard to live and just easy to exist, and put yourself in like airplane mode and just be like, okay, you know what, let's just fucking cruise. Like, just don't think about it, like you'll figure it out, whatever. Like, just close your eyes and just fucking cruise. And I think sometimes that's a little bit dangerous. I don't know. I think it's just a modern day version of like, I'll just like be dead alive, you know? And just like mental health feels like becomes less of a priority then, when we just accept these blanket statements of like, life has to be hard, and beauty has to be pain, and like, I don't know if I'm digressing, but I'm for sure digressing. But yeah, I guess I really related to this statement of it's easy to exist and it's hard to live. Not all the time, but yeah. Um, and I thought it was really powerful to see that on a TV show, right? That's run and hosted by five queer people, right? And yeah, it was just so, and it's so cool because they go to like these towns where some of the people are like Trump supporters, or some of the people are like you know, like they've never been around gay people. Like each season focuses on a state. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I think you should really go watch it. So yeah, no, go watch it. Go watch it. So before I make this episode even longer, I just have one final Netflix recommendation that if you guys haven't watched, like, you guys just really need to get into it, because I need to do something like this where like it's like a radio show, kind of like this, you know. Maybe I guess I can do it here. Like, I don't know, but Swap Shop is amazing. It's like this radio show where people go to like buy things at this like either barns or whatever. So like someone has like, you know, there's this channel, and at 11 a.m. every morning there's like the show Swap Shop, and someone comes like, hey, swap shoppers, you know, I have a barn full of stuff here in, you know, somewhere Kentucky. And so people are like in their, you know, their vintage shops or antique shops or whatever, and they just like, you know, listen to the show, and they're like, okay, I'm really interested. Wow, you know, this barn must have so many cool things. And they just kind of like go. So it's kind of like that show where they break into the storage rooms, but like not like that. And some people, and there's like multiple people and multiple personalities. Like, so some girl is like really into like the creepy shit, and like this other guy is also really into like creepy like dolls and religious stuff, and this other girl is very into like antique furniture and vintage clothes. And there's this other couple guys that have this shop in Atlanta, and they're like super into like sports stuff, and like, I don't know, it's like these other people are from like this other place in Kentucky, and they're very into like furniture. So yeah, it's like, oh, there's these other guys that are very into cars, so they like restore cars. So it's really cool because you get to see like various different little shows in between. And I love just like a good like auction-y type of thing. I don't know, I love that. And what they said in this, I guess the point of me sharing this is, they had this quote, and it said, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, because, you know, they lost the deal. And he goes, you know, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. And yeah, he was like, today I was the bug. So sometimes I think that little nugget really also resonated with me, because yeah, sometimes like you're just the bug and sometimes you're the windshield. Like, you can be both. And you can't be none. I don't know, it's just so weird. And yeah, I guess to just like finalize, and I just want to say that you know, this past couple of months we've gone through so many transition periods in our lives, coming into our home, and just settling a little bit more, and feeling the ground under our feet has been really relieving and beautiful. And it has also given us opportunities to now tap into things that maybe I wasn't ready before, and just traumas and connections that I wasn't ready to make before. But now that I'm in a safer space with just like more grounding, I'm ready to take on this project, is what I like to call when it's like, I know it's like also mental health related. And yeah, I just want to tell you that you have to make mental health a priority. You have to make it one, whatever that looks like. Really, just let some of that pressure go. Just really pull your shoulders down. I'm not judging. Like, just really just try to put your feet up. Just try to breathe and just take a second and and just breathe. Honestly, just breathe. Make it like, our minds are so powerful and our body, remembers, and our emotions need to flow and need to get out of our system, and we need to cleanse. And just investing in our mental health has to be a priority. And I hope that you find a space. And if you don't have a space to do it, and you're in Ecuador, I don't know, I've always had this idea of creating like espacios, de contención. And I think I have some friends who would love to be part of it as like our guiders, as like actual therapists and stuff. So if you're in Quito, and you're listening to this, or if you're in Ecuador and you're listening to this, maybe we can do something like this at Shanti. If you don't know, that's my 5-month project that I'm talking about. It's the house that I grew up in, but became into an event space later in the years. And now I'm running it, and it's a very emotional and also exciting and freeing and creative project that gets me to connect with a lot of you in real life, because we can do real events. Like, for example, February 26th, we have this class, yoga and sound healing with Clavillota and Shanti from Pila Luisa Yuk. And it's Clau's last like in-person class before she goes to Thailand. And you should follow her at cloud.billota. And yeah, so she's going to do the sound bath and the yoga. So I'm creating these like classes del mes. And next month, I want to do a ceramic one with Gabi Jamali, who did like our bowl. Meijun gifted me this beautiful Valentine's Day Steffi's bowl, because I love bowls and I eat in bowls all the time. And I make these like massive, huge salads. Or I used to, I guess. And yeah, I love that. So yeah, I have things planned. I want to do like a little feria, pero like a different type of feria, like with like charlas, and like I'm meeting with Vale from Cons next week to do that. And I don't know, I'm just really excited because this 5-month project, it's going to be my way to just celebrate that space, to celebrate myself, to make connections, and to bring life to that place again. And after 5 months, make space and know that, and see if it's still something for me, if it's still something that I can juggle, because it's not just like the creative and fun part. It's also a lot of emotional work, and it's also a lot of admin work and, finance work. And I have this and Take 3 Studio and Take 3 Uni, and I'm already spread thin with all the other projects that I put myself through and that I like being part of. So yeah, being realistic and seeing how this could work. So yeah, in 5 months we'll have a check-in, I guess, and I'll let you know. But until then, I hope that if you're in Ecuador again, you let me know, and let's make a class, let's make a workshop, and let's make something happen to make our mental health a priority, to make our physical health a priority, not in this superficial way, to make conversations and challenging debates a priority, and to just have fun and to dance. I'm going to reach out to Caro to do that dance class, remember, that we talked about in the last episode. Yeah. So my last thing is just people are really hard. People are hard, and we are all hard. And sometimes it's just hard to have relationships, and we just have to know that, and we have to know that everything good and bad comes to an end, that everything in life subsides. Everything is a rising and a subsiding sensation, like Deepak Chopra, they say, in my favorite yoga YouTube class. So yeah, also it is valid to feel scared even when you know you're safe. Remember that. And yeah, you're not alone. So yeah, I love you very much. Thank you for being here. I really want to know who you are. I would love to like just chat with you and see like why you are listening. I just see numbers and I want to see people. Yeah, so if you guys could like, I don't know, message me on Instagram on Take 3 Talks, that'd be cool. Or I guess you can leave a review. That'd be cute too. And we can meet via reviews. Listen, I'm trying to get that review. People say it works. But yeah, I love you. Really, thank you so much for being here. I hope this was a fun little ride that accompanied you through your commute and wherever you're going, wherever you are. And yeah, thank you for being here and letting me have this space. This is fucking cool. I love this. Okay, bye. That's it. I love you. Bye, friends.